The pages turn to November. Those are games you remember. We'll break it all down on a Football Takeover YouTube show. Let's go. What's up, everybody? As I spit all over the place, getting excited about the show. Welcome in. I'm John Harris, founder, CEO, whatever you want to call me, for footballtakeover.com. Appreciate you guys being here for episode 27. We got a lot to do. We're going to look at who I think could eventually be linebacker one in the 2024 NFL draft class. You'll definitely want to check him out. And it's maybe a name you're not accustomed to hearing. Edgerrin Cooper. If you're thinking, wait, what? Edgerrin Cooper? Yeah, Edgerrin Cooper from Texas A&M. 2021, he popped on my radar screen, and I thought, oh boy, this guy could end up playing in the league. He's got NFL traits, namely his speed, but okay, he's just a young dude, so let's see how he does. But I had him in my Harris 100 going into the 2022 season. Not a great 2022 season. Looked kind of lost. Didn't really take to the defense. 2023 is a whole different animal. We'll look at Edgerrin Cooper and his game against South Carolina last week and what he brings to the party. They got a big one at Ole Miss. So we'll definitely break down Edgerrin Cooper. And I'll put the Film On Bros segment a little later. Then we'll have our pick 3. And you know it's Thursday night football tonight. And what a big one. I definitely will have my eyes on this one. And now that baseball's all over, not that I was watching the World Series, don't care. Congratulations to the Ranger. Whatever. Yes, Titans v. Steelers. This is a great one. If you love defensive football, Cam Hayward is going to be back for the Steelers. Will Levis threw for 4 touchdowns last week against the Falcons. Is he for real? Well, we'll find out when he goes to Pittsburgh on a short week. And that's going to be a great one. So definitely check that out. So our pick 3, we'll have a Thursday night football slant plus big game in the state of Texas on Thursday night in college. And we'll pick that one as well. But we got to kick off the show as we always do with our cover 3. And I can count to 3 this week. Last week I couldn't count to 3. And it's time to deal out some new cards. It's like we're playing blackjack. Hence my little thumbnail, the blackjack. We're dealing out new cards. I want new cards. Now I don't want those. I want these. Well, trade deadline is essentially that for NFL teams. They get a chance to go out and get some new cards. And yeah, you got to pay for it in some respects, but some teams made some big deals. It started with Seattle going out and getting Leonard Williams. So Pete Carroll somewhat reunited, I guess. I guess Leonard was probably after Pete was gone. But either way, the USC connection of Leonard Williams goes back to Seattle, or goes to Seattle, I should say, and will join the Seattle Seahawks as the Giants end up getting back at 2-5. Now, they're getting back at 2-5 because they ended up paying and will pay a significant portion, if not all, of Leonard Williams' contract this year. So they get a little bit more draft capital, i.e., they bought themselves a second-round pick. I know the NFL doesn't like to hear that, but they bought themselves a second-round pick. Then you had Chase Young being traded from the Washington Commanders out to the San Francisco 49ers for a third-round pick, which had everybody kind of like, huh? A third-round pick? Now, it might be a rental. I've seen that before. I've seen it in Houston. Didn't think it was going to be a rental, but I've seen players like Garyon Conley and Duke Johnson give it up for third-round picks. Chase Young went for a third-round pick, so there's a little disparity there, but whatever. I think I'm over it from what the Texans did, but either way, Niners make the deal for Chase Young. We'll see how long he stays out there, but he joins his Buckeye teammate Nick Bosa and Chase Young. Oh, boy. That's going to be nasty. And then you had the Commanders trading Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears. The Bears give up a second-round pick, which more than likely is going to be a top 5 pick in the second round. So anywhere from 33 to 38, somewhere in that range. Again, and they didn't get a deal done with Montez Sweat? What? The Bears are a complicated mess to me. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't mind making a deal for Montez Sweat. That's fine. That's cool. I believe in Montez Sweat. Know his agents very well. One of his agents is a great friend of mine. But I can't imagine that they're going to take a hometown discount or any kind of discount now. The ball's in their court. The trade's already done. It's over. I mean, Montez Sweat and his agents can take the Bears for everything they've got. Now, the Bears do have cap room. There's no question about that. But they still are going to get probably I don't know, 10 to 15% more than they would have gotten if they maybe accepted a deal now. So smart play by the Bear, or by Montez Sweat and his agents. The Bears, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the deal. The Bears going out getting a player because, okay, they've got a bunch of cap room next year. So you get Sweat in and you get him locked up now, and then he's a foundation piece going forward as one of the best edge rushers in the league. But now you don't even know if you're going to get him. And if he's a rental and you just gave up, the number 35 pick in a draft for a rental, yours to deal with, Bears fans. Rasul Douglas goes to the Bills. Bills needed some corner help. Tre'Davious White's been banged up, and that's been tough for him for the last few years. So they get Rasul Douglas from the Packers. And Josh Dobbs goes from the Cardinals to the Vikings, which means Clayton Tune is going to start for the Cardinals this week. So, a lot of stuff going on around the trade deadline in the NFL. Let's not stop in the NFL. Let's go to number 2, where the Raiders, well, Mark Davis, not real happy with what's going on. So he started firing people. And it didn't stop at Josh McDaniels, head coach, and GM Dave Ziegler. It also went to Mick Lombardi, offensive coordinator, and essentially quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, there is a guarantee in Garoppolo's contract if he gets injured, like $11 million. So what's the best way to not get him injured? Well, to not play him. And also because he's not played very well at all. So you go to Aiden O'Connell, and that's what Antonio Pierce talked about at the press conference, going to Aiden O'Connell. It'll be his job for, I guess, the foreseeable future. I didn't think he played poorly against the Chargers, but after the game, Josh McDaniels hammered him. So I don't know. I feel like O'Connell's got something. I feel like he's a poor man's Jared Goff. That's what I compared him to in draft season. Ugh. Now, one other aspect. I did the math on this. I went and found the coaches from the Belichick tree and Belichick himself. Without Tom Brady, I took their head coaching records. Now, the best is Bill O'Brien with his time here in Houston, but Bill probably inherited the best roster when he got here in Houston. Either way, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniels, Belichick without Brady, and I'm maybe missing one in that mix. Brian Flores. Those coaches are combined 187, 243, and 1 without Tom Brady. 187, 243, and 1 without Tom Brady. I'm not sure what that tells you about the so-called Patriot way, but take it for what it is. Either way, the Raiders going to be putting out and doing an exhaustive head coaching search very soon. Just not sure how good that job is. I mean, especially with what Mayock and Gruden left over for McDaniels and Ziegler, and they kind of built on one another, and a lot of big contracts to guys. I mean, and they just don't have a lot of draft capital. I don't know where they're going to get help from. I saw Bill Barnwell mention they might have to trade Max Crosby, and I hate to say it for Raiders fans, it probably makes the most sense because you'll get some draft capital for him, and that's what you need right now. I don't want to make it a fire sale, but it might have to be. If you want to do it right, that might be the way to go. Now, the flip side of that is if you get a young quarterback, say the Raiders would have gotten C.J. Stroud. What if you put C.J. Stroud with that Raiders lineup? I don't know. Maybe you got something. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to get the best quarterback in this particular draft class and groom him and team him with a coach and see where it goes from there. But I don't know. This is going to be a tricky situation in Las Vegas. All right, tonight at number 1, Thursday Night Football, Will Levis and the Titans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looks like Mitchell Trubisky will not start. It will be Kenny Pickett, apparently. Now, that's kind of a fluid situation, but Pickett had to go out of the game last week getting hurt. Trubisky came in. There was thought that on a short week, the Pickett might not be healthy enough to go, but it looks like maybe Pickett will go, so I don't know. But we do know it'll be Will Levis because Ryan Tannehill is still out. And after a guy threw 4 touchdown passes in his rookie debut, I think you're going to go back to Will Levis. Now, if Will Levis has shown growth, then we'll see another 2-touchdown game and probably a Titans win. But Will Levis's inconsistency at Kentucky was always an issue. So lighting up the Falcons at home, okay. Steelers Thursday night, let's go Steelers. Yeah, I'm saying it. Let's go Steelers. But I do want to say about Will Levis, I mean, he was probably the most polarizing draft pick. Even I said it. I said I wasn't sure I wanted Will Levis in Houston. I'm very happy with C.J. Stroud. But you knew he had the talent. There's no doubt about that. It was just a matter of could it all come together and consistently be there week after week. That's the next challenge. 1 week, great. But can you do it week after week? That's the challenge for rookie quarterbacks, and we'll see how that goes tonight against the Steelers at Acrisure Field, which, a.k.a. the stadium formerly known as Heinz Field, where I think Heinz Field is still on there somewhere, but I don't know. Either way, Acrisure Stadium, go get the win, Steelers. If I had my little, towel, I don't know, Dewey Wingard stole it from me, I guess, from the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. The Jaguars were stealing terrible towels. I mean, seriously, that should be a federal crime. But either way, Steelers, Titans, let's go. All right, it's time to put the film on, bro, for a guy that I talked about earlier, Edgerrin Cooper. I'm not totally convinced he's linebacker 1, but I'm not totally convinced he isn't either. There might be about 2 or 3 guys in the running to be linebacker 1 in the 2024 NFL draft class, and it's probably 2, maybe 3 guys. It's maybe the 2 guys at Clemson, more than likely 1, Barrett Carter, and it's Cooper. And I got a feeling if Cooper plays like this the rest of the way, it's going to be Cooper at linebacker 1. Let's take a look. Let's put the film on, bro. Edgerrin Cooper against South Carolina. All right, I've been waiting to do this one for a while, and I felt like there were a couple of games I could have done of Edgerrin Cooper earlier in the season. But watching him on Saturday against South Carolina, I felt like, man, this is it. This is the one right here. This is a game in which he did a little bit of everything, honestly. He ended up with 7 tackles, 2 TFLs, a sack, a pass breakup, 4 quarterback hurries, and he forced a fumble. So we're going to dive into Edgerrin Cooper, and one of the reasons I decided to do him is I've been trying to figure out kind of my Harris 100 rankings and where I want everybody to fit. And I realized, man, I think I'm looking at linebacker 1. Well, let's take a look at him and see what you think. And obviously, you don't have to make a decision today about it, but just know that Edgerrin Cooper has been all kinds of fabulous. And it starts right here. He's right here at this linebacker spot. And South Carolina is going to run motion here. They're going to split zone. So they're going to bring this motion guy in, kick out here, and run zone to the left. So he's going to follow, and then he's going to cut back behind the guy trying to kick out his defensive end here. Cooper's run fit, he doesn't get too impatient, yet he approaches it properly. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So let's get the motion in. Okay, he's going to kick out that defensive end right there, number 4, as best he can. He kind of goes low on him, but whatever. We can talk about that later on. And so what I like about Cooper is he doesn't get into a gap that's already filled. So McKinley's going to slide into the play side A, and then York is going to step into the backside A. So what that does is Cooper now needs to have eyes back over here on the backside B. Okay, so he's got to play both. Now, he's got some help here on the front side, which he knows. But if you watch him, he kind of stays patient and he lets the play come back to him. So he slides back in. Now he's like, wait a second, man, I might have to get over the top. So he starts to slide back in, but then as he does, he sees the running back cut back. He stops, resets his feet, and then ends up making a good solid form tackle. I mean, the patience that he shows in his run fit. About to go there, nope. Going to slide back in where there's a big seam, square him up, boom. Good contact, the line of scrimmage, wrap him up. He's going to get his stuff. Doesn't get a TFL, I don't think, on that one. He's going to get his stuff, though, stuff being 2 yards or less. He's going to get one there because of how he fit. He looked at and observed everything in front of him and realized this is where I need to be. I need to be in backside B. I mean, this could be a play. If he gets too anxious and fits over here, well, he's already got help over here. If he gets too far over there, that running back cuts that back, and now he's got a big running lane. That's a mistake a lot of stack backers make. He doesn't. He fits himself back in, stays tight to 62, and then makes a good, solid form tackle. All right. Let's go. Pick 3 time. This is my favorite. Now, last week, how did John do? He went 3-0, baby. Yeah, I went 3-0. I got all 3. I had a couple of player props. It took to the last the last drive to get there. But we went over Josh Allen, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Got there with 2. We went over Baker Mayfield, 228 passing yards. We got there. I think the drive of the Hail Mary, we got there. And then I picked the Bills to win. and the Bucs to cover. And we got there with that last touchdown to make it 24-18. So, can I go 3-0 again this week? Well, let's start with Thursday Night Football. Titans at Steelers. And I'm going Steelers to win, Steelers to cover. The Steelers are a 2.5-point favorite. Now, I'm going to get to the next one. Well, I was going to say one thing, but I'll save that because that's at number 2. I just have a feeling the Steelers are going to slow down Will Levis. They're going to show him some different looks than the Falcons showed him Thursday night on the road. Could be tough temperature. You don't know. Levis has played in it. He's been at Penn State. He's at Kentucky. He's not as if he's played in great weather all the time. But I just feel like Steelers defense, edge rushers, Steelers getting Cameron Hayward back. That's going to be big, big. So let's go with the Steelers to win and cover that 2.5. Now, getting to number 2, I don't think it'll be a pretty game. And because it won't be pretty, 17-13 will get the job done. Well, the over-under is 36.5. So I started thinking, okay, what gets me over that? 20-17. I don't know that I can see these teams scoring 20 and 17 either side. So let's go under. I hate going unders. I hate unders. But I'm going under Steelers Titans 36.5. 36.5. Boy, that's a low number. In fact, I'm not sure how many 3 handles are in front. Vikings Falcons is 37.5. Rams Packers 38.5. Bucks Texans 39.5. So I guess we got some 3 handles. Giants Raiders 37.5. That's for sure. So those are the games with 3 handles in front of their over/under total. So I'll go under this one. Because I just can't see offenses led by Will Levis and Mitchell Trubisky or a banged up Kenny Pickett getting to 20-17 at best. So we're going under. And finally, got a big game in college football tonight. Man, we've had college football every single night. Akron got win number 2 on Wednesday night. Wednesday night football, you got to love it. Well, TCU is taking on Texas Tech, and it looks like Baron Morton is going to be back for Texas Tech, apparently. Now, college injuries, you never quite know. But I feel like Baron Morton, quarterback for Texas Tech, being back helps. He's not been tremendous, but he just kind of settles that offense after Tyler Shuck broke his leg early in the season. The biggest thing is Taj Brooks. He's my player to watch in this game. He has been running the rock for Texas Tech like nobody's business. He's almost already to 900 yards, and he's completely overshadowed by everybody in the Big 12. Jonathan Brooks gets all the mention with the University of Texas. And Taj Brooks just kind of flies underneath the radar. DJ Giddens, people have been talking about from K-State. Taj Brooks is a badass. And I think he's the reason that Texas Tech beats TCU tonight and covers a 3-point Texas Tech spread. It's at home. Texas Tech really hasn't kind of found itself. To get to a bowl, they got to have it. Desperation on the Texas Tech side, covering the 3. Wreck 'em, guns up. I don't know if you say guns up anymore, but wreck 'em Tech. Get that win over TCU. And get my pick 3, 100%. And that's the show, everybody. Appreciate you being with me. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to have a new show, a strictly, solely, 100% college football preview show right here on Football Takeover. I'll give you a few picks. I'll give you players to watch, some draft prospects to watch, and all that this weekend. That will be tomorrow. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. And as always, you're the best. Thanks for watching. Good night.